Welcome to day 4. I'm super excited about this particular topic because this topic is the one that could be a game changer for you when done correctly. And by the way, it's going to take practice. But when done correctly, this is that technique, this is that decision, this is that intentionality that literally up levels every form of communication that you have. It's being authentic. Keyword is authentic. Write that down. I know you're taking notes. Be authentic in your voice. Now, that doesn't mean be truthful. Some people are like, well, I am authentic. Authentic in this particular state does not mean truthful. I assume you're truthful. Authentic is developing your presence. This state of being first requires you to explore what I call your naked truth. Yes, I did say naked truth. See the shoulder right here, your naked truth. In other words, aligning the person that you are in the dark of the night when no one's looking at you with the person that you are in front of people, whether it's 1 or 1,000, whether you're at a social mixer or whether you're on stage, whether you're around the table with your family or whether you're with friends. It's aligning the person you are in the dark of the night when no one's looking. It's being willing to take off the layers of I have something to prove, I have something to protect, I have something to hide, I have something to defend. It's taking layer after layer off. Now, I'm just saying this kind of flippantly, like we just take these layers off. It took me years to take off the layers of trying to prove I'm smart enough. I come from a background where I wasn't the most academically enriched child. As a matter of fact, I was considered academically challenged by many teachers in my life. I found out in my 20s that I was severely dyslexic, that I am still dyslexic. And so I was always trying to play catch up in class. I got through school, but what it left me with in my 20s was a feeling like I had a need to prove I was smart enough. Prove I was as smart as the next person who probably graduated from a university when I didn't. I got kicked out. I got kicked out because I couldn't afford to stay financially. And so I had all these challenges and all this chatter in my head around being smart enough. And then I was in this dark mocha skin, full lips, round hips, kinky hair. Didn't necessarily see that on the runway. So then I needed to prove that I was pretty enough. Now I'm speaking to you about the things that I was working on. So I want you to know that you can unconsciously have the desire to prove you're good enough without even knowing. I want you to bring from your unconscious to your conscious. Do I have a tendency to try to prove? Do I have a tendency to try to protect? Protecting is another thing. You may want to protect your gender. Women are strong, or you want to protect your origin. Well, in South America, you may want to protect your nationality or you're protecting the people. Or you may want to defend. I talk to a lot of people who are willing to defend their point. Well, when you don't defend, then opinions are possible. Opinions can just ebb and flow. So are you proving, protecting, defending, or hiding? I also hid a lot. I hid that I wasn't the smartest cookie in the cookie jar, but I hid it by trying to prove. So when you step back and you go, wait a minute, what if I operate like there's nothing to defend? Write this down. There's nothing for me to defend. There's nothing for me to prove. There's nothing for me to protect. And there's nothing for me to hide. Now, I'm going to give it to you in this course in somewhere between 7 and 15 minutes. But it is going to take you days, weeks, and months. It's going to require you constantly build the muscle of nothing to defend. Oh yeah, nothing to protect. You're gonna be in a conversation and you're gonna get hooked and you're gonna wanna flex. You're gonna, wait, hold on. I'm in this program that's transforming my life and I have nothing to hide. There's nothing about me that's not perfect and beautiful inside of its imperfection. That it's my imperfection that makes me perfect. And when I can be whole and complete in my imperfection, when I can be whole and complete in the fact that I haven't arrived anywhere, you will never arrive. We don't ever want to arrive because then what do you do when you get there? We're on a journey. And on this journey, inside my imperfection, my goal, your goal, is to simply be the best version of ourselves in this moment. And when you can do that, then all of a sudden you're willing to go, hey, hold on, let me share with you more of me. Let me share with you the part of me I normally wouldn't share. Let me share with you the transparency. Let me share with you my vulnerability. Let me share with you my fears. Let me share with you my joy. Let me share with you my crappy mistakes. Let me share with you my issues. Let me share with you my greatness. Let me share with you my brightness. Let me share with you my brilliance, that I'm not afraid to be seen in my brilliance or in my breakdown, that both make me me, and I'm whole and complete. That when you can sit in that space and say, wait a minute, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in the midst of my brilliance and my breakdown. I own them both. I straddle and I saddle and I ride them both. And when I can ride and hold and harness them both, then I can share them with you more effectively, more openly, more transparently. And here's the gift. When you take that risk, that delicious risk with me of becoming more transparent with me, then something in me cracks open that you didn't have before. And all of a sudden, I want to give it to you because you gave me something. You gave me the gift of your transparency. Then when I'm sitting and listening to you, whether I'm an audience of 1, an audience of 100, or an audience of 1,000, I somehow want to give you more of me. It's the most brilliant, beautiful act that a speaker, an orator, a person can give, is the gift of transparency. Now, it also is the gift that most people won't give. It's the most beautiful and it's the least given. Why? Because it requires you to take a risk. It requires you to celebrate yourself out loud. It requires you to be willing to forgive yourself out loud. It requires you to take off the layers of who I've been in the world. It requires you to take off the tie of perfection and the jacket of everything's okay. It requires you to stop faking like you weren't impacted by that thing back there that dropped you and rocked you to your core. See, transparency is going to cost you. Yeah, it's going to cost you. It's going to require you to put some skin in. My grandmother says, baby, if you want people to put some skin in, you got to put some skin in first, which is why most people won't do it. They don't want to put skin in. They're afraid to put skin in. But if you're willing to commit to yourself, to put some skin in, to love you before you show up for me, to honor you before you show up for us, to celebrate you before you show up for anyone else, and then you put skin in, then man, you have no idea the impact you begin to have. All of a sudden, you're not saying life. You're not speaking life. You're doing it. You're not talking about authenticity. You're not talking about being truthful. You're doing authenticity. You're being it. When you sweat, authenticity comes from your pores. And all of a sudden, every experience with you just becomes more delicious. And you can't just turn authenticity off, by the way. Authenticity is something that you turn on and you decide to live in it. You decide to live in authenticity. You don't do authenticity. You don't get on stage or get in front of the audience or get in front of 2 people and all of a sudden, now I am authentic. No, you live it, you be it, you do it, you walk it, you talk it, you eat it, you breathe it, you drink it. It's just you. And then when you show up, there's no performance to make. You're just doing more of you, but now you're doing it in front of people. Now you're doing it to 2 or 10 or 200. See, your voice should always speak your truth. And when you speak your truth, you give everyone listening access to discover their truth. What a gift. So, what's your exercise? What's your self-work for this particular course? I love, by the way, I love these bite-sized, digestible nuggets of information. So they're not long, so you can go away and you can chew on them. You can digest them. You can go, whoa, what did she say? You can listen to it again and then do a little something to develop that muscle. So today, the way we develop this muscle, your authenticity muscle. Now, this is one of my favorite exercises, and I gotta tell you why. Because, wow, over 17 years ago, speaking of authenticity, I was madly in love. And I was prepared to marry this man. And I felt signs of emotional abuse, but I didn't really know what it looked like. And then it became verbal abuse, and it was pretty clear. But nothing became more clear than when my fiance at the time picked me up and threw me 3 feet across the room. And then he choked me until I passed out. I was able to get up and get out of the relationship. But something in me felt like it had died away. A piece of belief, a piece of hope, trust in myself. I was so angry at Lisa. How could you get yourself in this abusive relationship? Why didn't you see it coming? And at the time, my son was 3 years old. So I felt like I'd endangered my child, which I had. And man, I was so angry, scared, frustrated, broken. I was everything. I was a hot mess. But I also was clear that I wasn't going to live the rest of my life like that. And so I sought help. I went to the doctor at my mom's advice, and my doctor said, Lisa, you're clinically depressed. Clinically depressed and me in the same sentence? Thought I'd never hear those words. And then she she put a prescription in front of me, and I read the prescription, and it said, Lisa Nichols, Prozac. Prozac? Lisa Nichols. I need Prozac? I asked my doctor, okay, I'm willing to take the medication, but can I try something else first? She said, you have 30 days to do whatever it is that you're gonna do. And in 30 days, I need to see you back in my office. And if you haven't gotten better, I need you to get on your medication ASAP. So I went away and I did this exercise. So I wanna give this exercise to you. Because when I came back in 30 days, with no artificial, I'm okay, really just organically being me, my doctor asked me 3 questions. What have you been doing? Who taught you that? And can I get your notes? Because you're completely different. I never had to take the medication. I'm not inviting you to get off any medication if you're on it. For me, my doctor told me I was okay. But this exercise was one of 3 exercises that I did. So I want you to do them, to find your authentic self, to find your voice, to get intimately connected with you. This particular exercise turned my crawl into a walk, turned my walk into a run, and turned my run into a soar. So I want you to get into the mirror, and I want you to complete 3 sentences. Now, with each one of the sentences, I want you to have 7 different endings. 7 different endings, okay? And I want you to do this exercise every single day for the duration of this program. Every single day. Remember, I did it for 30 days. Actually, I went on and I did it for 6 months. But I was trying to find my life again. So I don't know where you are, but I needed to find my voice, and my voice had left me. I didn't even know it had left me. So I did it for 6 months. I'm only asking you to do it for the duration of this program. So, sentence number 1. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to state your name. I want you to talk to yourself as if you're talking to your best friend. So I want you to look at yourself with love. I want you to look at you the way you're looking at me right now, right? And I want you to say your name. So for me, I'd say, Lisa, I'm proud that you. The first sentence is I'm proud that you. So say your name and say, I'm proud that you, looking into your eyes. And when you do this, you might immediately feel the tears swell up, because it's been a long time since you've been with you. You've been with everyone else, but you haven't been with you. Not in this way. Wow, watch this. So say your name, say I'm proud that you, with 7 different endings that you're proud of yourself for. Now, you might need to go back 10 years, 20 years because you haven't celebrated yourself for so many things. When I first did this, I said, Lisa, I'm proud of you for getting the lead role in The Wizard of Oz in 2nd grade. I didn't realize how much I wanted to be acknowledged for that. My parents didn't come out to the play. They were at work. No one knew I was in the play, so no one knew I had the lead role. And then I said things like, Lisa, I'm proud that you're even in the mirror today. Lisa, I'm proud that you had the wherewithal to get out of the relationship. Lisa, I'm proud that you're giving yourself a chance at discovering your voice. Lisa, I'm proud that you work every day to be a great mom. Lisa, I'm proud that you are willing to ask for help. So 7 different endings. What are you proud of? The second sentence. Now this one might take you to your knees. At least it took me to my knees. I wasn't even audible when I said this sentence, but I became audible over the days and weeks and months. So it doesn't matter how you start. What matters is that you keep going. The second sentence. Lisa, I forgive you for. Say your name, and I forgive you for. 7 different endings. Say the things that you thought you'd take to your grave that no one else would hear because it's just you with you. Say your name, I forgive you for. So for me, it was, Lisa, I forgive you for getting in an unhealthy relationship. I forgive you for being so lonely that you lower your bar of who deserves you. Lisa, I forgive you for staying when you knew it was time to leave. Lisa, I forgive you for gaining over 60 pounds. Lisa, I forgive you for wanting people to like you so much that you said yes when you should have said no. So forgive yourself. 7 different endings. And the third sentence, say your name, and now you make a bold declaration to yourself. I commit to you that. I commit to you that. I would say, Lisa, I commit to you that today I will only say yes when I want to say yes, and I'll say no when I need to say no. Lisa, I commit to you that today I will stand in my greatness. So when the negative chatter kicks in today, I'll press pause. Lisa, I commit to you that from this point forward, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. Feel free to use any of my statements. These are all true things that I needed to say at one point in time in my life. Remember, 7 different endings. But each day, you can say the thing you said the day before. It doesn't matter. Day after day after day, you can repeat what you said the day before. Just each day, I want you to find 7 different endings. I want you to do this in the mirror every single day before you start your day. Watch how cracked open you'll be. Every single morning, I want you to do it for the remainder of this course. Now, the next part of your homework, your self-work, is I want you to get in your journal and I want you to write down 4 things that you said that hit you. I really needed to hear myself say that. I really needed to hear myself say that, just so you're keeping track of the authenticity that matters to you. So I know I took you into a deep place here, but I wanted to show you the transparency that I love to invite you into. I want you to own your truth in such a way that you inspire others to own their truth. I want you to stand in your dark places as well as stand in your light places with ownership, authenticity, and power. I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility. I'm proud of you for sitting through this with me. I'm proud of you for doing this particular self-work. I'm proud of you for saying yes to yourself. I'm proud of you for allowing me to touch your truth just in this session alone. I love you and I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow.